Welcome everyone to my list of top 20 video games I've played. It's the list of Daniels. Drink it in, man. Number 20, Earthworm Jim. This is the weirdest game I've probably ever played, and growing up as a 6-year-old, this was terrifying. Like, actually terrifying. But still, I played the shit out of it on the Game Boy Advance when I was 6, even though it scared me. So it definitely deserves a spot on this list at number 20. Do you want to know what the definition of insanity is? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about Far Cry 3, the award-winning first-person shooter game with psychotic villain Vaas. Oh, you'd have to be pretty insane yourself not to include this in your top 20, which probably makes me even more insane for only having it at 19. Number 18. It's 8-Ball Pool. It's the world's biggest online pool game developed by Miniclip. On 8-Ball Pool, you win big, or you end up just quitting all of your games before your opponent has a chance to beat you. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is 8-Ball Pool, where you always have to worry about losing all of your coins in just one game. Oh, the intensity. Oh, the pain. This is just a challenge of becoming an 8-ball master, ladies and gentlemen, so get good and hold on to your knickers. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Coming in at number 17 on my list is Mario Party DS. If you like Mario and you like parties, then boy, you're going to be in for a treat with my second favorite Nintendo DS game. Oh, I highly recommend this, but not enough for it to be in my top 15, but I can guarantee you are still going to have lots of fun with this one. It's number 17 on my list, ladies and gentlemen. You talking about your best sports games ever? You talking about NBA 2K10 on the PlayStation 2, folks? That's right. Coming in at number 16 on my list of favorite games I've played is none other than NBA 2K10, lads. Oh yeah, school's out, time to go home and play some real basketball. That's how awesomely realistic this game is. But oh shit, your mate's called and wants you to go shoot some hoops with him, but you already got hoops at home on the PlayStation 2 waiting for you. You tell him, yeah, you tell that son of a bitch that this is real basketball and that he should get his faggot ass over and jam with you. Number 16. Now entering my top 15, we are starting with Uncharted 4: A Thief's End on the PS4. From someone who only just bought and played one of the Nathan Drake Uncharted games this year, I can honestly say that this is a pretty sick game. If you're looking for an awesome action adventure game, then look no further with Uncharted 4, which in my opinion is on par with the Tomb Raider games, if anything, for their similar styles. So that's the number 15 game on my list, ladies and gentlemen, and for good reason. Number 14, it's Super Smash Bros. Brawl for the Nintendo Wii. Definitely one of the best games to play when you have all your friends over. Super Smash Bros. Brawl was one of those Wii games I had, but I just couldn't get enough of playing. So that's why it ranks at number 14 on my list. The number 13 favorite game I've played is Mortal Kombat X. What I liked about it? Well, it's Mortal freaking Kombat. The best fighting game franchise in history, and even though this isn't my most favorite Mortal Kombat game that I've played, yes, I have another one on here. It makes its way onto my number 13 because of its realism, awesome graphics, and is one of the first games I purchased for my PS4 this year, and still liked it so much to play enough hours of it. So that's why I can make enough room for it to appear on my list at number 13, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that's right, we are starting to get pretty close to my top 10 favorites now, but let's stop right there and announce my number 12, Battlefield 1. What I like most about Battlefield 1 is probably that it is one of the only multiplayer shooter games out there that I've played and can say that it actually feels like I am in a real war zone in every single game. From playing in tanks, flying a plane, and even you can ride on top of a horse into the battlefield, it gets pretty hectic out there. But that's what I like about it. Finally being able to play a multiplayer shooter where I don't have to constantly bloody worry about my kill-death ratio, seeing as everybody's going to be dying a lot as well. So I can honestly say that it is a bit unlucky to have missed out on my top 10 I've played, but there you go. It's me, Mario. Coming in at number 11 on my list of favorite games I've played is Super Mario 64. As a child, I grew up on a Nintendo 64 thanks to my older sister having let me play it. Super Mario was just a whole lot of fun. There would be a different painting for each world that you had to jump into, and in each world you'd have 6 stars to collect, meaning 6 missions in each world that you had to complete. And yeah, it was just so much fun, I could play it for hours. Definitely one of my favorite Nintendo 64 games I've played. Number 10 of my favorite video games I've played is Tekken 6. And maybe I'm guilty for having a lot of fighting games on my list, but it's always been my favorite genre, so I couldn't leave Tekken out. The reason for Tekken 6 being on my list and none of the other Tekken games is just because it's really the only one that I jammed. So yeah, playing this on my brother's old PSP all the time, mastering every single character's 10-hit combo on practice mode first, so that I could get good and verse people online was pretty fun. So yeah, it gets a spot in my top 10. Number 9 on my list of favorite video games I've played shouldn't really come as a surprise. It's Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy. Remastered for the PS4 comes a trilogy of Crash Bandicoot games I forgot was so hard. Still though, Crash Bandicoot has always been a classic, and I like the challenge of wanting to perfect every single level, no matter how many times I might die trying to do. And how one night I had to have some drinks with my big brother Justin, and we'd build 99 lives up just for me to finally be able to say I completed the High Road stage. So yeah, no matter how many times I died trying to complete a stage on this, I can honestly say that Crash Bandicoot games are still so much fun. Number 8 on my list of favorite video games I've played is Tony Hawk's Underground 2. I've played some of the other Tony Hawk's games as well, but this was my favorite one I played because it has the best story mode and the best levels to skate on. What I enjoyed most about playing this was creating my own skate park, playing mini games such as Horse and King of the Hill with my bro Jacob, and from having cool cheat codes to use such as Perfect Grind and Perfect Manual. Definitely the most coolest skating game I ever played. It's number 8. Coming in at number 7 on my list of favorite video games I've played is Pokemon Battle Revolution. And maybe this was just because I'm a huge Pokemon fan, but when I first found out this game was coming out on the Wii, I basically begged to have it bought for Christmas. One of my favorite Nintendo Wii games I used to have. I don't know, I just loved playing it because it was a Pokemon game on the Wii. And constantly holding on to the Pokemon Battle Revolution strategy guide wherever I went to. Just barely misses out on my top 5 favorite games I've played is Adventure Quest Online, also called Battle-On. As a 14-year-old at the time, every time I got to play on a computer at the Chermside Library for an hour, this is all I would play. I can just remember how stoked I was when I used to play with my old mate and how we got his mum to shout him and me for a Guardians account on this. Oh, those were the days of battling huge monsters, saving up to buy the best weapons and stuff. Oh yes, it definitely comes in at number 6. Really had no choice here but to put my most favorite PlayStation 2 game that I had in my top 5. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Now entering my top 5 favourite video games played, I am kicking things off with One Piece Grand Adventure on the PS2. This was the game I played that got me into the anime manga series itself, and I think was the first anime I ever got into. Again, a fighting game, but as I was a massive fan of One Piece, I really had no choice. It's hard to describe what I liked the most, probably the story mode. Story mode was sick. Number 5. Oh yes, it's my number 4 favourite played, and it's my second favourite Nintendo 64 game played growing up. It's none other than Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie, where you play as Banjo, a bear with no brains, and his cheeky sidekick Turkey Kazooie. I must admit, I really didn't know what to expect with this game when I was younger. Little did I know that it would actually turn out to be an awesome puzzle game and end up in my top 5 games played in the future. I guess I found it really funny at the same time as well, because each enemy I came across would make the weirdest noise, and it was just so funny. That's my number 4, folks. Sorry COD fans, but I can't believe I have an actual COD game on my list of favourite video games I've played. But unfortunately, I couldn't leave out the only COD game I actually played all the time. Coming in at number 3, hold on to your shitting pants, because it's Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I'm not proud that it's in my top 5, let alone top 20 favourite video games played, but to this day, I actually still play it, even though it's ruined by modders now. What can I say? A year and a half ago, I used to kick people's ass at this game, averaging 20 kills per game probably. That's how good I got at it. For that reason alone is why it had to make my list, let alone top 5. But of course it's going to be a Pokemon game at number 2. I fucking love Pokemon. It was hard to pick what one though, so I just picked the one I played the most out of, Pokemon Heart Gold. Can't remember how many hours I put into this, but it had to have been a lot. This was basically the reason I got a DS in the first place. Can't remember what starter Pokemon I picked on this game. I'm hoping it was Totodile, but I'm pretty sure it was Chikorita, who was just as good, I guess. Oh, and my PC was like full of really good Pokemon I got from using the Global Trade Center a fair bit. And they were mostly level 100s too. And now, introducing my undisputed number 1 favorite video game I've played. Oh, it's a fighting game. It's on the Nintendo 64. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Yes, that's right. A Nintendo 64 game is the number 1 on my list. It's hard to explain this, but when I think back to my childhood, playing Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the 64 is most nostalgic for me. It was just awesome having learned to accomplish every single character's fatalities in the game, and to have never forgotten that. Unfortunately, these are very sad times for me, since I don't have the Nintendo 64 anymore. But Mortal Kombat Trilogy plus every other game I had will forever remain in my memory. So there you have it folks, I hope you enjoyed the video.